And we'll start a new live on Facebook. That I put and that. Now we will screen share. And hopefully the stories will all work out. Okay. As we started talking, the one rule helps things stay peaceful. And the stories that I'm sharing come from my first book, which at that time I had, of course, started the practices that have brought about the one rule, but it didn't have a name. Well, the power of respect was the only name that came to me, which I also used for the newspaper column. So anyway, these stories came out of the first book. And so I'll share them here. They're various common kind of situations that come up and how to deal with them. Okay, now the one thing that comes to my mind right now is that these are just one possible way of dealing with that same situation. It completely depends on the people involved, what form the solution is going to take. The only thing that stays common is that everyone involved likes the solution. It feels good to them. That's the only requirement here. Now this, if you've followed my work at all in the past, you know that when you're dealing with babies or 2-year-olds, or really anybody that you're introducing the one rule to, it's up to you to do most of the find agreement work, because with babies, of course, they know what they like and what they don't like. And 2-year-olds know what they like and what they don't like. Everyone knows what they like and what they don't like. That's one of the reasons that the one rule works and works so well. So when you're working with somebody that you've never worked with the one rule with, or you're just in the beginning process with them, it's up to you to do most of the work of finding agreement once they understand how it works and what's involved, and they've seen evidence because of your interactions with them. Then they join in. So this first story that I'm sharing with you today is with a small child. So the mom is doing most of the work. And all these stories are long before the name, the One Rule, came about and the understanding of the One Rule came about, but not before the action of the One Rule came about. Okay, grocery shopping. I'm sure many of you can relate to this. Maybe not. Well, even nowadays, bulk, buying things in bulk out of bins and barrels is common and mainstream. When I was writing this, it wasn't, but it still happened. Like in natural food stores and places like that. Okay, Marta was so glad to be getting to the market early in the day. There were guests coming for dinner, and now she would be sure to get everything ready in time. Bodhi, a toddler, had been very cooperative, not resisting anything she wanted to do. Marta was grateful, knowing how difficult this would be if he were not willing to go along with her plans. While she is filling bags with bulk grains and putting them in the cart, Bodhi starts to climb out of the cart seat. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go over here to move it. Okay. Bodhi, please sit down. I'm almost done here. Then I want to push the cart to a different aisle. Down, out. He continues what he is doing. Marta thinks to herself, oh dear, how frustrating. I guess it's really good I got an early start. Here, Bodhi, I'll help you get out. I don't want you to fall and hurt yourself. Bodhi runs over to the bins. He opens one full of hulled sunflower seeds. He starts to grab some. Bodhi, here, use this scoop. Let's not touch these with our hands. It can get the food dirty. I'll get a bag and you can put some in the bag. Marta quickly grabs a large bag and holds it at the edge of the bin. Now you can scoop some seeds into the bag. Be careful and make sure the seeds go into the bag. She guides the scoop into the bag when its contents threaten to be dumped on the floor. Bodhi scoops and scoops. Then he carries the scoop to another bin. This one is filled with pinto beans. Martha gets another large bag. Bodhi scoops many pounds of beans into the bag. Then he goes to a bin of flour. Look, Bodhi, here are some peanuts. Come scoop peanuts. His mother holds a bag for him to scoop some peanuts, choosing something else she needed at home. Bodhi, I would like to go now. I have lots of work to do at home. Bodhi runs over to the rice bin. Dis, mommy, dis. Okay, Bodhi, scoop some rice, but then I want to mention that he cannot resist the challenge of carrying something that takes all of his coordination and attention to walk, carrying each bag. Guide him when it seems he might want someone or something. She does the rest of her shopping as efficiently as she can. Bodhi is content with the challenge of carrying the bag of oat cereal. When they reach the checkout stand, Bodhi does not want to let go of the cereal bag so it can be checked through on the laser. His mother lifts him up so the cashier can scan the bag. Nowadays, they have those little handhelds so they could do that easily. He does not let go of the bag until he gets home. His mother spreads out a clean sheet for him to work on and lets him scoop the cereal into a large metal container. Then he wants to scoop it back into the bag again. But this would take Marta's help, as the bag is too flimsy to stand on its own. She would have to stop her work, and she really does not want to do this. Marta gets out a huge metal bowl and offers that to him for his scooping. That is satisfactory. He scoops from the container to the bowl and back again, repeating and repeating his chosen work. Marta gets her work done in plenty of time. Okay, here's another story. Keeping the focus. So you'll see in this story, the mother is able to keep the focus on how this mother is able to keep the focus on what she wants. And of course, the child is keeping his focus on what he wants. Okay. Have you finished playing with your toys in the living room, Gordy? I'm thirsty. I see. You're going to get a drink and then go back to your toys? I want a drink. You mean you don't want water? You can get water. I want juice. Okay, I'll get you some juice. Here it is. Yummy, Mommy. Now I'm hungry. I'll be glad to fix lunch for you, but what about your toys in the living room? I don't think it's a good idea to leave them out when you're not using them. You can put them away and I'll fix food. No, I want to help fix food. I don't want your toys to be left in the living room. It's too easy to forget about putting them away. I not forget. I don't feel good about this. I will wait for you to put the toys away and then we can make lunch together. I'm very hungry. There are a lot of toys. I could help you. That would make the work go faster. Then we'll make food. Okay, Mommy, let go. So you can see what happened here. Simple. They both got what they wanted. Okay, by working together and not opposing each other. You can imagine if the mother had insisted that he go do this, all the trouble and time it could take, and they both would have been unhappy. Not a good plan. So this worked out really well. Even though they didn't know the one rule, they acted as if they did. That's why I didn't change these stories, because as I was reading them, I found that they were following the one rule, because that's what I did. Okay. Here's another situation that's pretty common and how it's getting dealt with here. Saying goodbye. Whoops. That can be troublesome for the people involved. Phyllis, remember I told you I'm going to my class today? Well, I have to leave soon. I don't want you to go. I know, you told me, but I have to. It's very important for me. I have to take a test today. I can't do it another day. Would you like to do something with me before I go? Yes, play music. Okay, let's see. I'd love to play music with you. Because she knows that it might be difficult for her daughter to say goodbye, Alicia asked Jody, her regular babysitter, to come a little early. Oh, look, Jody's here. I guess it's time for me to go. No, you stay. Hi, Phyllis. I came a little early today so we could have time to play down by the creek. Should we get the water toys and go down there? We could even make a picnic dinner. Then we can stay there a long time. Kay, you go, Mommy. Back soon. Yes, I'll be back soon. I'll be back before you go to bed. I want to give you a hug. They hug and kiss. I love you, sweetie. See you soon. So here's one way that this situation could be dealt with and successfully. So just keep that in mind, that there are ways that situations which you might be experiencing where things don't go smoothly, where somebody ends up not feeling good, which usually means everybody doesn't feel good. That if you take the one rule, adopt it, that whatever solutions come up with, everyone involved has to agree to it, feel good about it, agree to it because they feel good about it. Then you can end up with smooth situation after smooth situation. Let's see what this next one is. In a hurry with patience. Huh, that can help, that's for sure. Clifton has finally gotten to his paperwork. His life seemed too busy lately. He finds that the letter from Uncle Rodney that he hadn't opened, thinking that it was not urgent, says that his uncle is arriving today from Hong Kong. In fact, he has barely enough time to get to the airport. He will be saved if Uncle Rodney takes a long time going through customs. Since today is one of his days to take care of Nora, he has to get her ready fast. Nora is sitting quietly in the corner doing all of her puzzles. As she finishes one, she pushes it. Oh. Okay. As she finishes one, she pushes it carefully away from her. She is practically surrounded by puzzles. Nora, Nora, Uncle Rodney's coming. We have to go to the airport to pick him up. I do puzzles, Daddy, Nora says as she continues to concentrate on her work. I know you are doing puzzles, but I have to leave very soon to go to the airport, and I need you to come with me. Her father is used to considering her needs to be as important as she believes them to be. I stay. I do puzzles, Daddy. I would like you to be able to stay, Nora, but there is no one who could help you if you need help, so you have to come with me. I not need help with puzzles, Daddy. No, I can see that you don't, but I'm going to be gone for a long time and there's no one to help you in the bathroom or help you get food to eat. I'm not hungry, Daddy. I not go bathroom. I do puzzles. Okay, we can take the puzzles with us in the car. Clifton realizes how important the puzzles are to Nora and is determined to help both their needs get met. I do puzzles in a car? Yes, I think I can make a way for you to do puzzles with pillows and boxes, but I have to go now and I need your help to bring the things to the car. I carry the puzzles. Great, let's get ready and go. so Uncle Rodney won't have to wait for us, so he won't be afraid that we forgot him. Uncle Rodney be afraid? He might if we don't hurry. I hurry. Thanks, Nora. I really needed your help with this. I'm sure Uncle Rodney will appreciate your help too. He knows that his appreciation of her cooperation and her concern that her uncle not be afraid can help her continue to develop cooperation, concern, and appreciation. When hunger strikes. Mommy, I want cookie. Let's go see if we have any cookies. They go into the kitchen. The mother, Melanie, opens the cookie jar. Oh dear, we don't have any cookies. I'm sorry, Heather. I want to see. Heather looks into the empty cookie jar. Oh, all gone. I hungry, Mommy, I hungry. Would you like some strawberries? We can pick them in the garden. Yes, yes, I like garden strawberries. I hold bowl. Okay, you hold the bowl. I'll get it. I get it. I get it. You know where it is? I know. I get it. I hold it. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Now, this little story came about because a number of times I noticed adults telling children that you're okay, it didn't hurt, when as far as they knew it hurt. So that's where this little story came out. Because, well, we'll see if it tells you or not. Mommy, why I fall down, owie? Let's see, show me where it hurts. Right here, my leg. Oh, I see. I'm so sorry you got hurt. Right here, huh? What hurt you? The floor. Where? Right here? Yeah. I hope it feels better soon. It feel better. Good. I'm very glad. So it didn't go into an explanation about this, but I have noticed over the many years I've worked with children that if you acknowledge their truth about things, they don't get attached to insisting that this, like that it hurts, that it hurts. And I've seen that happen. So if you just acknowledge their point of view on it, and like this parent did, I hope it feels better soon. It will go through these things smoothly and not make them have to fight for their point of view, which is not a happy one. So anyway, okay, on to the next story. This one is with older kids, taking care of each other. Gordon has just come home from work. In an hour, he has to go out again to a meeting. He asked his sons to have dinner ready so he could have a little time to rest. He is really looking forward to the enchilada casserole. There is no one in the kitchen. The oven is not on. There is no delicious smell of enchilada casserole. Gordon finds the boys in Raven's room playing Nintendo. I don't know if there's still Nintendo. This was a long time ago when this was written, though it's relevant for today. Hi, Dad. How was your day? Well, except for not coming home to enchilada casserole, it was fine, though I'm a little tired. The boys look at him with blank expressions. Remember, you agreed to have dinner ready when I got home tonight? I have a meeting and I wanted to be able to rest a little. Oh, we thought the casserole was for Thursday, your regular meeting night, not tonight. Well, there goes my rest. Let's get busy with dinner. We'll have to work fast if I'm going to get out of here on time. We also have to decide what to make for dinner. No, Dad, you need the rest. Sage and I can make dinner. We'll make burritos. That will be quick, and we have all the ingredients. Thanks, boys. You're so thoughtful and give me so much help. I don't know what I'd do without you. I just had a thought. If there are things I would like you to do, would you like me to write the instructions down clearly? Then maybe we can avoid misunderstandings like this. Sure, Dad. Maybe we could write down all the things we each agree to. Then we'll be sure we understand what we've said, we'll do, and it will help us not to forget. Yeah, let's write down now that Raven and I will make enchilada casserole and salad before you get home from work on Thursday. Good idea. And I'll write down that I have to have the ingredients in the house before that. Gordon was not pleased with the situation that he came home to, but he was sure there was some reasonable explanation. He let the boys know what he needed. When he realized the situation was due to a misunderstanding and perhaps a lack of communication, he decided to get on with it. The boys took the initiative to make sure his needs were met. He would get his rest, his dinner, and even his enchilada casserole, though not exactly as he had expected. The family also took this opportunity to begin a new practice that can help them avoid such mix-ups in the future. When you're in a hurry. Dawn hangs up the phone and goes to knock on her 4-year-old son's door. She hears, "Come in." She finds Mark totally engrossed in Legos. "That was your grandfather on the phone. He said your grandmother wants us to come over right away. We have to leave immediately. I'm sorry you couldn't have more of a warning and more time to get ready. I'll get your jacket and meet you by the door." Mark puts his shoes on and rushes from his room. Dawn helps him on with his jacket to speed things up. Then Mark dashes toward the kitchen and out the back door. "Mark, where are you going? We're in a hurry." Mark rushes back into the kitchen. He's carrying a beautiful yellow rose. Grandmother loves yellow roses. "Mark, that is a very thoughtful gift, and I thank you for getting it so quickly." It is good to warn your children before you want them to stop what they're doing. Also, to leave time for negotiations in case some are necessary. However, this was one of those times when it was impossible. Fortunately, Mark was content with the arrangements, even though Dawn was feeling rushed when Mark headed off in the other direction. She knew that he must have some good reason. She was hoping that he really understood the need for speed. When she saw that he did, and his gift of love, her appreciation radiated from her. Let's examine what might happen if Mark had not wanted to go to his grandparents. I don't want to go. I'm having fun with my Legos. I see that you are, but I don't see how you can stay here alone, Mark. It would make me feel very uncomfortable. There would be no one to help you if you needed help. I don't like to visit them. It's boring, and grandmother always kisses me and grandfather pinches my cheeks, and I don't like that. Would you feel better if I asked them not to do that? And you can bring along some things to do while we're there. You could play in the guest bedroom while I'm visiting with them. Could I bring my Legos? Sure, let's pack them. I'll help you because I'm really in a hurry. This process may take slightly longer than the first example, but everyone's needs are taken into account, and it would have taken much longer if they'd thought about it. If she had tried to assert her authority over Mark, it would have caused suffering for Mark, feeling that his needs didn't matter, for her to get tense and angry toward Mark, and for the grandparents having to put up with all the bad feelings and not understanding why Mark was so reluctant to be with them. Okay, here is another story from that book. These stories came about because at the time that I was doing this and writing, this approach, this respectful approach, this using respect as your foundation with kids was not a normal practice. It was still more parents are in charge kind of practice. And parents, it's their duty to do whatever they can to make sure that the children do what they say. So because I said so was a common bottom line in those days, and still today to some extent, but less than when I was doing this. So there was a cartoon series, I don't know if it's still around, called Calvin and Hobbes. And this was the story of a little boy, I guess around 5 and maybe 6, and his stuffed tiger. And Calvin, the little boy, asked his stuffed tiger, or no, it was the tiger that asked Calvin why they always played war games. And he said, Calvin said, because there aren't enough examples of peace or something like that. That's what it was about. But anyway, that inspired me to put in a lot of examples because I realized that people would be dealing with all these kinds of situations or variations of them. And the practice was not to do it in those days where respect was your bottom line. You were never less than respectful. So in these days, you were following the one rule and everybody was agreeing to whatever situation became the solution that was one of the requirements. And in these days, that I write about, that was one of the requirements also, that there was agreement. Okay, so this one's called Trusting, Protecting. Mom, Billy invited me to go camping with him and his brother this weekend. I'm really excited, just us guys. I'm happy for you, Elliot, but I have to admit, it makes me nervous. Why? I'm afraid Derek might not be responsible enough to take care of you two boys. Mom, he's 18. He graduated from high school. He could teach us cool stuff about camping. I'm sure he could. It's just that I'm worried that he might drink and drive. I overheard two girls talking about him in the clinic today. They were saying how lucky he was that he didn't have an accident or something after he insisted on driving home after he'd been drinking at a party last weekend. Now do you understand why I'm concerned? I really want to go. Maybe we could talk to him, or maybe Uncle Hans would come with us. He knows a lot about camping too. Those are both good ideas. I think I'd feel best if we talked to Derek and if Uncle Hans went along. If Hans thinks Derek did a good job, maybe I'd be willing to trust him to take care of you another time without Hans. You're very precious to me. I love you too, Mom. I'm sure we can work something out. Jennifer was pleased with her son's excitement and did not want to put a damper on it, but her concern for his safety had to be expressed. He respected her needs and came up with two acceptable ideas that could be the solution to her problem. Moving beyond procrastination. Whoops. Okay. Grace has been sitting at her typewriter since dawn, finishing up an article that she has to get into the mail by 3 o'clock. Her head is aching and she is very glad of a chance to put her feet up. Her daughter rushes into the house after her dance class. Mom, I forgot. Today is the last day to sign up for those circus classes. Will you drive me? We've got to hurry. They close in half an hour. Misty, I'm too tired and I have a headache. Oh, Mom, I'm sorry. Oh dear, what am I going to do? I really wanted to learn all those circus skills, and so many of my friends have signed up. The whole summer will be spent preparing for a performance just before school starts. I'd love to help you, but the thought of driving across town right now makes me feel even worse. Too bad we're procrastinators. What's a procrastinator? Someone who puts off getting things done until the last minute or until it's too late. Well, I don't want it to be too late for me. I'm going to call our neighbors. Maybe one of them will drive me. Try Mrs. Evans. Can't drive me. Mom, that was a great idea. Tracy is coming over right now. I'm sure we'll make it on time. I'm glad it's working out for you, dear. I love you, Mom. You know what? She knows that it would be wrong for her. Fortunately, her daughter is a determined person and it's not going to let a little setback get in her way. She wouldn't want her mother to drive with a headache anyway. She decides what to do, accepts her mother's suggestion, and solves her own problem. She also decides to change her behavior. This is an inspiration to her mother, and together they begin their new work to improve their lives. I like the next story, but where there's a will, there's a way. But it's time to go. I wish you all a great week, and keep on finding agreement with the ones you love.